Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and another episode of the Blood Sorcery Rituals playlist, where tonight we're going to continue through the level 4 rituals found in the core book for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Now, this episode is going to be about Incorporeal Passage, which is a pretty interesting ritual that I've seen plenty of Tremere take over time. But I'm always interested in seeing how 5th edition has made it grow in some fashion, what limitations it might have put on it. The book states, the caster assumes an incorporeal state, not unlike a ghost, unable to freely pass through objects, and rendered totally immune to physical damage. They cannot interact physically with the material world except by sight and speech. Now, that's pretty cool, and that is also one of the things that I think that the warding circle against spirits would work against, is somebody in an incorporeal state. Maybe this ritual can continue on with that. We shall find out. The ingredients needed is a mirror, just a mirror. So that's pretty cool. There's actually a lot of rituals, mostly scrying, that has to do with mirrors, or in other words, looking into it and being able to see far off places. But this one here also calls for that. The process says the caster spills their blood on the mirror, chanting, and then breaks it. That's pretty cool. I like the idea of that whole thing. The system states, make a ritual roll. If the roll is a win, the caster assumes an incorporeal form, as long as they hold a shard of the broken mirror. While incorporeal, the caster remains immune to everything except fire, sunlight, and arcane weapons, and rituals capable of damaging spirits. Again, I personally think warding circle versus spirits definitely would hold these guys off. The caster can still be seen and heard, but cannot interact physically with anything or anyone. They cannot rouse the blood while incorporeal. Incorporeal casters have no access to any spirit realm. The ritual does not make them wraiths or spirits. The caster can walk through walls and other objects, but must do so in a straight line. They cannot change direction while inside solid matter. This ritual lasts for one scene or until the caster drops the shard. Returning to the material while inside solid matter can result in anything from destruction to entombment to minor inconvenience. The ashtray is stuck halfway through the caster's arm. That's interesting that they chose to use an ashtray as an example there. The storyteller decides on the precise outcome. So, again, this is their entire physical form losing rigidity, losing the solid matter. Their body goes into a spirit form. They themselves are stuck halfway between the physical realm and the spirit realm. They can walk through walls and all that stuff. They just cannot turn. And if they choose to go solid again, all they have to do is release the mirror from their hand, and do not be inside of a physical item when you are attempting to do that. I am personally sticking with the idea that warding circle versus spirits work on them, specifically because it does say that the caster remains immune to everything except fire, sunlight, and arcane weapons, and rituals capable of damaging spirits. So again, that's where my belief comes from on that one. I'd like to know yours, and if anybody's ever used this. Now, I would like to focus on the humor for this one. Has anybody ever gone corporeal in a place where they should not have? I am interested in knowing exactly what kind of damage and what the consequences were. Thank you for joining me in this review of Incorporeal Passage. Class dismissed.